We're going to be talking about a huge story surrounding WWE SmackDown and NBC taking off of TV. Also, in addition to that, WWE Marigold, a huge announcement. And yes, we are going to talk about TNA. We got a very big story there as well. If you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that bell. This way you never miss a video on the channel. I'm going to keep you guys updated along the way every single day with new videos surrounding professional wrestling, such as TNA. Now, this one is a very interesting story because, as you guys know, TNA is doing this invasion angle with the WWE, and it's obviously a very hot angle. The ratings for NXT were very good this week. There's a lot of generated success already. There's also a huge response from the fans. But did you guys know that one of the people who will be front and center with this TNA invasion is somebody who currently is not even working with a contract? According to a report from Fightful Select, Matt Cardona has been working for TNA without an official contract since his return to the company. The free agent status is a significant detail, as it technically means that he's actually not even exclusively signed to TNA, and technically, in theory, would be able to sign with WWE if he so choose. Now, this is a very interesting thing, man. This is a very, very, very interesting story because Matt Cardona, I think it's very clear this guy is awesome. I think it's very clear this guy deserves to be back on WWE television. I find it somewhat puzzling all these years that WWE has not signed him, despite the noise that he's made on the indie scene. But what's even crazier to me is the fact that TNA has him, but he's also not signed to TNA. Now, I'm very aware that TNA doesn't have a whole bunch of talent like under these permanent long-term contracts, right? And I feel like they found something that kind of works for them because it's really hard to have somebody signed to your company and like you're not actually like exclusive, but then you figure out a way to make it work where they could consistently be part of the programming. So with Matt Cardona, in a weird way, it's kind of interesting. Like he's part of TNA and he does a lot of things with TNA, but there's no sort of long-term commitment from both sides. And that's kind of a special case. TNA has also kind of changed because in the past, there was these things about TNA where it was like, hey, if you were not under a permanent contract, like you wouldn't be used. But then I feel like in recent years, we've kind of seen that being changed. I don't really know what to make of this. I mean, I don't suspect a situation where Matt Cardona would just sign with WWE in the middle of this, invasion storyline. But wow, that would be kind of insane, right? Like that would be a really big deal. So it's interesting to see how they're going to go forward and book this and see what they do together. I don't know. I'm very, very curious, though. I'm very excited to see how it moves forward. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Io Sky is headed to Japan. This was a major announcement. The former WWE World's Women's Champion has been officially announced for a major match in Japan. Dream Star Fighting Marigold revealed that Io Sky will face Mayu Iwatani at Grand Destiny on October 26th at Ryogoku, which is obviously a very big deal. We know that Io Sky made the announcement. It was shared by Marigold. She addressed the fans directly. She called out Iwatani for what she believes is a meaningful battle. And this is exciting, man. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. You know, there's been this talk about Marigold and WWE and Rossi Ogawa and what they were trying to do and what they were trying to accomplish, because obviously Stardom, you know, Rossi Ogawa doesn't work in Stardom anymore. And I think there's been this like conversation from wrestling fans that maybe the narrative is that Marigold and WWE probably weren't going to be doing too much together. And I feel like every so often you hear of something with Marigold and WWE. Now, it's not a relationship that is as relevant to WWE compared to the TNA relationship or even Pro Wrestling Noah, for that matter. I feel like we have seen both TNA and Pro Wrestling Noah have a little bit more of a stronger relationship with WWE. But with Marigold, to see a main roster star like Io Sky be able to go out there, it's such a big thing. It's such a big deal. And sometimes it's hard to wrap my head around this because the WWE, you know, yeah, they are a very greedy company, and this is a company that is definitely increasing ticket prices, and this is a company that is definitely doing a lot of stuff. You know, they're trying to compete against AEW and whatever. But on the other side of things, they are working with other companies, which to me is just kind of hard to fathom considering the direction that they've chosen to go as a company under TKO. And you know, NXT is doing a lot of things with Pro Wrestling Noah. WWE obviously has NXT doing stuff with TNA. It's not very often where we hear of main roster stars being able to be given these opportunities. And it's really dope, in my opinion, when we get to see that. Now, one thing that's also not being talked about is like WWE has the Super Show in Japan. I want to say it's on October 16th or 17th. It's like the day or two before Wrestle Dream or whatever. And it's like, or maybe it's even the same day as Wrestle Dream. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's like WWE is being very, very, very smart about the dates that they're picking for things. And obviously, you know, it just kind of makes sense as to how WWE is. But just to see how they're going about this, I think it's really dope. And obviously, Io and Io having like this like thing, you know, where she's able to go out there and do stuff. It's cool. And Iwatani and Io obviously have the history. I'm excited about this for sure, man. And that brings us to our next topic: WWE SmackDown being taken off TV. Well, we got to talk about it. YouTube TV has been threatened by NBC Universal, and this is not good. So for those who don't know, sources have told Deadline that YouTube offered NBC Universal additional compensation to get a deal done, but the offer was rejected. NBC Universal reportedly felt the proposal wasn't good enough, and a YouTube spokesperson made their stance clear in a public statement. They said, NBC Universal asking us to pay more than what they charge consumers for the same content on Peacock, which would mean less flexibility and higher prices for our subscribers. We are committed to working with NBC Universal to reach a fair deal for both sides ahead of our current agreement expiring on September 30th. If their content is unavailable for an extended period of time, we'll offer our subscribers a $10 credit. Now, the issue stems from YouTube TV and NBC basically not being able to come to an agreement, which means SmackDown would be taken off of YouTube TV. YouTube TV does have a very high subscriber base, which would obviously impact WWE and really hurt SmackDown, especially in the viewership and stuff like that. This is a very interesting time period currently as it stands, because what we are noticing is NBC is having issues with YouTube TV, but what we're also witnessing is ESPN and YouTube TV have not been able to strike up a deal for the ESPN Unlimited app. So it's not just one company, but it's multiple companies, and it just so happens that multiple companies are in a situation where they do, in fact, have a relationship with WWE. So WWE could be greatly impacted by this. It's not something that you want to see. It's not something that you want to hear. This is not a matter of SmackDown being taken off TV because of poor results. It's a matter of YouTube TV is not willing to pay NBC what they deem worth for their content. And maybe, you know, a deal will get struck. We have seen this a lot with sports, you know, and eventually they come to an agreement. But right now, it's very, very funky. I'll keep you guys updated along the way, obviously. So make sure you click subscribe.